You know, if you've ever grabbed an icy at the movies or a super pretzel at a ball game, then you know J&J Snack Foods. Their brands, they're all about fun, but their stock, lately it's been anything but. We've got a real puzzle on our hands here, and it's got investors completely divided. So today, we're going to dig in and figure out, is this snack food giant a massive bargain, or is it a classic value trap? All right, so here's how we're going to break it down. We'll start with the big puzzle facing the stock. Then we'll get into what's got the market so worried. After that, we'll flip it and look at the case for a major comeback. And to wrap up, we'll cover exactly what you should be watching. Okay, let's dive right into the heart of this thing, this mystery around J&J Snack Foods, or JJSF as we'll call it. You've basically got two totally different stories being told about this company, and it's tearing investors right down the middle. So this really is the question that sums it all up, isn't it? I mean, how does a company with these iconic brands we all know, a market-leading position, and get this, a rock-solid, completely debt-free balance sheet, how does that company's stock get just absolutely hammered? We're talking down over 40%. It just doesn't seem to add up. So what's the deal? All right. To really get why the stock has dropped so much, we've got to start with the negatives. Let's dig into the bear case and unpack what's got investors running for the hills. Okay, first things first, let's follow the money. JJSF business really breaks down into three main buckets. The biggest piece of the pie by far at over 60% is food service. So think stadiums, theme parks, movie theaters. Then you've got frozen beverages, that's your ices. And the smallest slice is retail, the stuff you actually buy at the grocery store. And bam, right here, this is the core of the problem. You see their main engine, that food service business, it's actually growing at a pretty decent clip. But that retail segment, the stuff people are buying to take home, it's shrinking and shrinking fast. A drop of over 7%, that is a massive drag on the whole company, and you can bet a huge red flag for the market. And it doesn't stop with that retail weakness. No, you've got this pileup of other issues. Management keeps talking about the cautious consumer. People cutting back on the fun stuff. The cost of ingredients like chocolate is going up. Then there are these new tariffs that could wipe out $8 million in profit. And if that wasn't enough, they're still cleaning up production messes from a plant fire. For anyone bearish on the stock, it just looks like the risks are stacking up, one after another. Okay, but that's just one side of the coin, right? That's the doom and gloom. Now let's flip it over and look at the bull case, which, let me tell you, paints a very, very different picture. All right, this number right here, this is the bedrock of the entire bull case. 0. That is how much debt J&J Snack Foods has on its books. Nothing. In this economy, that is an absolute superpower. It gives them incredible flexibility, they can invest, they can innovate, they can ride out any storm, all without having to worry about paying back the bank. And they are absolutely putting that financial strength to good use. Management is rolling out this big new transformation program. The headline number you need to know? $15 million. That's how much they expect to save every single year. And that's not revenue, that's savings. It drops straight to the bottom line. Okay, now this could be the real game changer, the big kahuna. JJSF is in active tests right now with major fast food chains for their churros and icy products. Just stop and think about that for a second. If just one of those tests turns into a permanent spot on the menu of a national chain, we're talking about a step change in revenue. It's a massive opportunity. And it feels like the market is pricing in a 0% chance of this happening, which makes it a potential lottery ticket for investors. And look, if you're an income investor, you've got to love this. Let's talk about getting paid while you wait for the story to play out. JJSF has an unbelievable track record here. They've raised their dividend for 21 years in a row. And with the stock price getting beaten up like this, that dividend now yields over 3%. That's a nice steady stream of cash coming your way, backed by a very solid business. All right, so there you have it, the bear case versus the bull case. They obviously can't both be right. So what you need is a scoreboard. Here are the key things you need to be watching to see which side is winning. So next time the company reports earnings, here's your checklist. 4 things. Number 1, that retail segment. Have they stopped the bleeding? Number 2, gross margins. Are they managing their costs, or is inflation eating away at their profits? 3, any news, any whisper about those fast food partnerships, that's the big one. And finally, number 4, are those $15 million in savings actually showing up on the income statement? This quote from the analysis we looked at really nails it. It talks about this significant disconnect. And that's exactly what's going on. The way the stock is priced today just seems totally out of whack with the company's fundamental prospects. The huge question is the market seeing something terrible that we're missing? Or is it completely overlooking a massive comeback story that's about to play out? And so that brings us right back to the beginning, to the ultimate question for any investor looking at this stock. Is J&J Snack Foods a classic value trap? You know, a stock that looks cheap, but it's cheap for a reason and it's just going to keep falling. Or is it a coiled spring? A really solid company that's been beaten down unfairly, and it's just waiting for that one piece of good news to absolutely pop. That's the decision you have to make.